Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Now showing at MIA, artist Mary Sully was a visionary ahead of her time. Born on the Standing Rock Reservation, she worked in near obscurity between the 1920s and 1940s, creating intricate, vividly colored drawings that blend Dakota heritage with modern life. Now on display at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, experience the first solo exhibition featuring Mary Sully's work and see how her art challenges traditional ideas of Native and modern art. Only at MIA and always free to visit. Learn more at artsmia.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org.
Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low around 38, Wednesday partly cloudy with a high near 67, and Thursday partly cloudy with a high near 64. Since 1984, Cafe Latte has been a hotspot for American eats and desserts. Enjoy gourmet salads, sandwiches, and soups with a unique cafeteria-style setup. Don't miss the pizza and wine bar offering gourmet pizzas and over 30 wines by the glass. Explore the bakery for fresh treats. Located off Victoria and Grand, more at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Jake. This portion of the show is supported by J.S. Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
Yeah, we are kind of concerned. Native News Online reported that David Flute, an enrolled member of Siston-Wapton Oyote, has been appointed as senior tribal advisor at the Department of Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Custer had he had people working for him too. He had guides working for him. I just want to put that out there, Haley.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know much about this person at all. I'm just seeing a lot of the comments from social media about this are pretty negative. So I don't know if it's the best thing.
Well, he'll be working under Secretary Kristie Noem, and we love her like a migraine headache.
Yeah, she's the one that's banned on all reservations, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So cool of her.
Yeah, and she's the one running around. Well, she also got her purse stolen and, all
Oh,
these secrets in her phone and $3,000 of cash, so I don't know if she's dealing fentanyl or what's going on, but, she's got
gee.
had $3,000 of cash stolen too or taken.
Oh, wow. I've never even had $1,000 cash on me.
Jeez. Well,
Well,
that's
that
right. Well, you're young too, you didn't cash out at the big casino
oh
win.
my
Hoa.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Speaking of being young too, like what a different day it is compared to yesterday's weather.
Oh my
I'm thankful for
gosh.
it. It's blue sky. But I was out there, I was working in the garden and
Oh.
I was trimming some bushes.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow, I'm not 19 years old anymore. My back hurts. My neck
Aw.
hurts. My legs hurt. My arms hurt.
Aw.
But that actually reminds me, when we were talking with Wendy yesterday, she brought up a great point. No mow May.
Yes.
Don't cut your grass until the end of May. I actually have seen people in my neighborhood. I live in a pretty big suburban neighborhood in Woodbury, and
Mhm.
a lot of people have already cut their grass in April.
Oh,
So,
yeah, and
yeah.
there's people that are, spraying their, spraying their lawn here in my
Yeah.
neighborhood, and I'm just going, "We gotta go across the street because I don't want my dog dying of cancer."
I know. Someone next to us, our neighbors next door, did some fertilization on their lawn and have the signs up for the pets to stay off. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you people listening in Minnesota are able to get out and enjoy this beautiful weather today. Quite different than yesterday. Tonight, I'm really excited. The Minnesota Wild and Vegas Golden Knights are going to be playing Game 5.
Oh,
Yeah, it's round 1 of the NHL playoffs. And the Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights are currently tied in the series at 2-2. They're going to play a best of 7 games. The Vegas Golden Knights currently they have an indigenous player on the roster, and that's Zach Whitecloud. And Zach is a defenseman who is a member of the Sioux Valley Dakota Nation in Manitoba. Whitecloud is the first indigenous NHL player from the Sioux Valley Dakota Nation. I looked up too, because I know the Vegas Golden Knights are kind of a newer team to the NHL, but they started back in 2017 and in the 2018 season, and they won their first Stanley Cup back in 2023. So it was pretty recent. I remember when Zach brought home the Stanley Cup to the Powwow grounds.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
definitely,
yeah,
and
it was like a little parade with the trophy.
yeah, that Stanley Cup, I've seen it gone fishing, I've seen it gone, scuba diving, I've seen it gone all these different places over the years, it's pretty funny, and truth be told, tell people, some of the things that you did when you went to the U of M, University of Minnesota, and what gave you,
Oh,
like, super skill here at Native Roots Radio.
super skilled in my production work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, go for alumni, go
Oh,
Gophers. I worked for Gopher Digital Productions, and that is the Gopher Athletics sports video production crew. We filmed live games for Big Ten Network,
yeah,
and I had the most fun filming game cam and close up cam for the Minnesota Gopher hockey men and women's. It was
there
so
you
fun.
go. There you
Yeah.
go. Well, the other
So,
side of that too, I gotta say, from my angle too, I love hockey and I love this time of year with all these sports in the playoffs because they really push it,
yeah.
and that's one of the things I love about the hockey tournament here in Minnesota, the high school hockey tournament, is
Mhm.
that I've gone over the years, and especially years and years ago when it was just one champion out of the whole state, not
Yeah.
different champions, that they went back and forth and did not stop, and that's
Mm.
kinda what happens now in the NHL too with, the hockey playoffs and the basketball
Yeah, the
playoffs.
Timberwolves are playing tomorrow. That reminds me, you mentioned the state hockey tournament. I always think of like War Road. And then when I
Mhm.
think of War Road hockey, I think of Henry Boucher, the
Yeah.
Ojibwe hockey legend. It's just cool to, remember him in a good way and talk about him when we can, because Henry passed not that long ago, a couple
No.
years ago.
Well, what was interesting too, and I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was 3 years ago, his grandson was in the tournament and
Mm.
played for, War Road too, and then giving a shout out to his father because, he always wore, like, one of those sweatbands, and
Oh,
he wore
yeah.
a sweatband, to give his grandpa a big shout out during the tournament. You know how they
Oh,
come out and they show their long hockey hair and stuff, and he had a
yeah.
he had a sweatband and long hockey hair.
Very iconic. Well, I want to shout out, what is it, Leah Hale's documentary on PBS, The Electric Indian?
Yeah.
That's a documentary all about Henry Boucher. I think it's free if you look that up, The Electric Indian PBS.
Yeah, I think you can watch
it.
it online off PBS,
Yeah,
especially
one.
if you're here in Minnesota. But yeah, definitely.
That one won awards.
Yeah, it did. And she's an award winner on other documentaries too. And we've had her on, and we should probably get her on again because she's not stopped working. She's still working and doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to because I know the segment's flying really quick. Let's just talk about real quick. We're going to have Kristie. I was going to say Kristie Noem.
Oh, jeez. Never.
God, what
never.
the heck is wrong with me? We're going to have Ruth Anna Buffalo, President and CEO of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, and our friend, we're going to have her on. We're going to have Kristie GoForth, Executive Director of Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin, and talk about what's going on there. And it's cool because we have so many listeners from Wisconsin and being in civic media. So we got to give a quick shout out to what's happening in I guess the Badger State. I always like to say the Gopher State here, but the Badger State.
Our rival state.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they're doing a bike sale coming up. I think Kristie's going to talk about that, which is exciting. A couple things going on in Minneapolis that we're excited for this week. The American Indian Month kickoff parade and powwow on Thursday in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I'll be there. Wendy has given me permission to get up early and go there. So I will definitely be there supporting this. This is just a great way to kick it off. And there's powwow at night, and there's a lot of things going on the weekend. Like Sunday, I see we have, there's just a lot of things going on. Maybe we got less than a minute, but maybe you can just run down real quick.
Sure. Yeah, so there's stuff going on the whole month of May. We're going to, Sunday, May 4th is actually National Day of Awareness for MMIR, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives. Sunday, they're doing a 5K. It's walk, run at your own pace. It's going to be at Thomas Beach, Bede-Makaska, from 2 to 4 p.m. You can register, I think, evenbright.com and just search Native Women Run MMIR Day of Awareness. But yeah, that's Native Women Running, putting that on with a couple local community groups, and there's more 5Ks the following weekend, I think, at Lake Fallon in St. Paul.
Yeah, the Ho-Chunk put that on, and that's an awesome thing. And then Saturday, May 17th, there's a community pipe ceremony to welcome the bison in Afton, and it's 10 to 11 a.m. Feast will be provided. And then I see May 24th. Did you see that on the script?
The 24th?
Yeah, it's on the script.
Oh.
It's my birthday. Hey, hey, it's Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Yeah.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I love my Toyotas from Rudy Luther Toyota for one simple reason. I can depend on them. You know they keep you safe, and they're incredibly reliable, fuel-efficient, comfortable, and stylish. The Consumer Reports Best of 2025 edition has 10 Toyotas as best buys in affordability. Toyotas are some of Consumer Reports' highest-rated certified pre-owned vehicles, and Rudy Luther Toyota's service department is the one place I take my Sienna for all of its maintenance needs. Toyotas are fantastic vehicles because they're fantastic vehicles. See for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota off of 394 in Golden Valley.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, we have our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo on, President and CEO of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and it's always great to see you. Ruth, we were talking, Haley and I were talking about maybe next year we will do a float with her car and put a big old radio on there with a big feather on there and try and win this thing. How are things going there with your float?
Yeah, things are going good. Everybody's excited and learning of more groups too who want to join or who are going to join the parade. I think the Red Bears basketball team is going to have a float. Yeah, it seems like lots of excitement that's growing and brewing.
So you're defending champions. Do you want to let us know what your float's going to be, or is that going to be a surprise to the community?
Surprise. Yeah, it'll be a surprise to the community for sure.
Wow. Hey, so were you preparing for the storms yesterday? Because the weather people here in Minnesota, and I know north of us in the Twin Cities, there was some hail and damage, but in the Twin Cities, I got a suntan.
Yeah, we were watching the weather and we were prepared. And so we just, it's always good to err on the side of caution than not at all. So we were on high alert for sure and wanted to find ways to make sure that our unsheltered relatives were protected. And so there was a lot of correspondence going back and forth with the city and the county and different partners on, what's the emergency plan for our unsheltered relatives. And what we learned from all of that is that there isn't anything in place like a public tornado shelter, that the relatives could use. So good. It was a good opportunity to plan ahead, so we kind of see what gaps are there and how we can better prepare to meet those needs in the future for sure.
Well, you guys do have a basement. It's kind of halfway, the windows. There's some rooms that I imagine you have no windows, so you could prepare for a tornado for the community.
Potentially. I mean, we have to get more prepared, though. I just, I can't put our staff at risk or put our staff in harm's way as well, as much as we want to help serve the community too. We just weren't prepared. So I had to make the call early on to close our doors at 2 p.m. Yesterday, to protect our staff and make sure we were erring on the side of caution. But again, that's definitely an opportunity to get prepared for the future. Unfortunately, now it looks as though Minneapolis is right in the direct path of, what's it called? Tornado Alley. It's kind of shifted over from Kansas, from the old traditional historic Tornado Alley pathway. So yeah, lots of opportunities, to get trained up in CERT and other emergency response, but it was still good to connect with AICDC and learn what they were doing. Wow. And they have the capacity to call in more staff, and we didn't have that capacity, and it was hard to find volunteers too who wanted to stay home and help protect their respective families as well. So glad that nobody was hurt and glad that it passed us for sure.
What the heck? I am sorry I took this lightly, but you guys really were on red alert, and that's amazing what you do for the community and aware of that. I know we went down to the basement and made sure that we had chairs under the basement stairs and a little area for our dog and a flashlight. And so, yeah, it's a real thing. And it's interesting what you said about now Minnesota with global warming has become a possible tornado alley now.
Knock on wood, but yeah, that's the pathway. And I remember learning about that shift in Tornado Alley years ago when we were down in Kansas, how it kind of shifted a little to the east. So.
Wow. Hey, you guys have your second night, kids' night out. It's happening Wednesday, April 30th from 5 to 8. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on there?
Yeah, our family services staff are hosting another kids' night out, and it's a time for parents to take some self care, run some errands. But what I've been noticing or observing is that we usually just stay as parents and just stay and partake in the festivities, because it's just so fun and engaging. It's kind of turned out to be more of a family event, but it was developed to give parents and kids kind of like healthy timeout, or healthy, not necessarily timeout, but healthy break from each other, or
Mhm.
not even that, but just to the idea behind it was for parents to let their kids go interact with other youth and learn some healthy activities, culturally based, culturally relevant,
Mhm.
and then give the parents the time to like go run errands or do some self-care. So
How did Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center's spring market go last Friday? How'd that go?
it went really good. It was a packed house, and yeah,
Good.
we had a food sale, we had Indian tacos. So yeah, the place was buzzing, and it's always good to see, community members laughing, joking, and coming together for food, and it gives a good opportunity for our local vendors to showcase their artwork, so it was a really good turnout.
Well, in that regards too, when we talked about the weather and how you help community and also having kids' night out and these things, how can people with these federal funding cuts? How can people help Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center? And I know these cuts are affecting everybody.
For sure. I mean, we could do, donate, share the link, do things within your reach, whether it's just talking to your friends and family at coffee table, kitchen conversations on, the importance of keeping places open like MIWRC and how much it matters to the community. We've been around for 40 years, and the plan is to be around for 40 plus years and beyond, to continue serving the communities, American Indian women and their families. So I would first say, please donate at miwrc.org/donate. Also, contact your congressional delegation. They need to hear from you. Oftentimes, individuals in those positions will sort of fall back on the notion of, well, I didn't hear from anybody, so it really doesn't matter, when in fact it's quite the opposite. So use your voice, use what you can from within your reach, donate, share the link, and also contact your electeds to hold them accountable, to make sure places like MIWRC stay open and don't suffer political consequences,
For
or as a
people
result
that
of the political landscape, if that makes sense.
exactly. Yes, definitely. People listening, and especially here in the Twin Cities, is Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center hosting an open house during the month of May for American Indian Month?
We are May 22nd from 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I believe.
Wow.
On the 22nd.
So will there be a cakewalk? Because that's 2 days before my 64th birthday. I'm curious.
Yes, I believe there will be a cakewalk. That is confirmed.
Right on. Well, Haley and I will have to go there and celebrate my birthday a couple days early.
We're like, what we
Ruth, you
really
gotta
want to know is, will there be a cakewalk? Yes.
No, I'm old school. Hey, we got like a minute and a half left. Is there anything that you want our listeners to know about Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, or give us a clue on what the float's going to be?
Well, yes, we're just so thankful for the continued support from the community. There's, miwrc.org/donate. Every bit helps us, and we're so thankful. We just continue to work and serve the community to the best of our ability. So donating is helpful. Sharing the link or continuing to share with others within your networks of the importance of places like MIWRC to continue to keep our doors open. We have such a huge impact in the community from many generations, and we just continue to work, serve the community. So yes, donate please if you can. And we're excited for this week's festivities with American Indian Month kickoff.
Well, we are always excited to have you on, and I know you have a busy schedule, you with your family and your work, and we really appreciate you. Native Roots Radio appreciates you coming on and speaking your truth and letting the community know the great work that Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, but also, you know, what's going on in the Twin Cities, and we really appreciate you, Ruth.
Mods Gadods, thank you.
Right on. Great to see you, and we'll be seeing you really soon here, and I'm going to figure out what that float's going to be. Somebody's got to...
Right.
With Native Roots Radio, we'll be right back, and we're going to have Kristie GoForth, Executive Director, Bikes for Kids, Wisconsin, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up here, Haley. Oh,
yeah, stay with us.
Right on.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at MIWRC's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to MIWRC's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at MIWRCsbeef.com.
Hey, it's Patrick. Spring showers may bring May flowers, but they also bring big savings with Zero Res. And right now, you can beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. Just check out the almost 21,000 raving customer service reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating and see what all the hype is about. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner starting at just $119 and take $75 off an air duct cleaning as well. You owe it to yourself and your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res right now at 9520-RES or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Spell it backward or forward, it's the same. Zero Res.
Hey, it's Freddie Bell, host of New Beginnings, designed for those of us more seasoned, I'll say, with informative talk on everything from health, finance, local and regional news, volunteerism, spirituality, and even a bit of humor tossed in. So if you're proud to be a more seasoned listener, tune in to New Beginnings Sunday afternoons at 1 right here on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota, AM 950.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Hi, I'm Rachel Shamblatt. My dad is Dr. Scott Shamblatt from Shamblatt Family Dentistry. A lot of people are afraid of the dentist, but you don't have to be. My dad makes going to the dentist comfortable and even fun. He won't be mad if you haven't seen a dentist in a long time. He just wants to take care of you and your teeth. If you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get.
Shamblat Family Dentistry in Hopkins and St. Paul. Find them online at shamblatfamilydentistry.com or call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low around 38. Wednesday partly cloudy with a high near 67. And Thursday partly cloudy with a high near 64. Don't miss Sasha Colby's Stripped 2 tour, an electrifying blend of dance, storytelling, and drag artistry at the Fillmore Minneapolis on October 9th. Tickets at thefillmoreminneapolis.com. Listen to The Gailey Show and The Matt McNeil Show all week long to win tickets.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, we have our friend Kristie GoForth, Executive Director, Bikes for Kids, Wisconsin, and there's a big annual sale coming up. But Kristie, before we get into that, Haley and I, yes, it's hard to believe we do prep the show and do talk about the show. I know it's hard to believe, but we were wondering a little bit about your tribe and a little bit up there. And Haley's a big camper, and she wants to know how she can go up there and camp.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, have you guys ever been to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan? Or Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
It is water country. So you've got to be, ready to get in the water. You're going to be fishing. You're going to be ice fishing in the winter. I grew up ice fishing. I often joke that I was born in an ice shanty, but not quite, but almost. My CB handle when I was a kid was Fisher Baby. So it was all about fishing. But yeah, it's beautiful up there. And I spend a lot of time on Mackinac Island as well. So we all kind of bop around a lot of the islands over there. I grew up on Drummond Island. And Sugar Island is a huge part of our tribe. And it's a beautiful, beautiful area. You've got to make time for it.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds cool, Haley.
I'm gonna have to get up there. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
There's some beautiful dunes. It's gorgeous, but it is always pretty cool. So, bring layers.
Layers, yes.
Wow, cool. Well, Kristie, great to see you again. I gotta just before we get really into the bikes annual sale, let's talk a little bit about, for the people who are just kind of listening in for the first time, a little bit about Bikes for Kids Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And thanks, Dennis, for the shout out. Sault Ste. Marie is gorgeous, and that whole area is just God's country. It's beautiful. I'm the executive director of Bikes for Kids Wisconsin, and we're basically on this two-wheeled revolution to get people on bikes, and not just all the people who've always had bikes, but especially the communities, the populations of people who've been historically excluded from this industry. And there's a lot of folks we found out through this work. So one of the programs we offer is our bike giveaway program, which we just surpassed 13,000 bicycles distributed in the state of Wisconsin since our first bike giveaway in 2017. And so that's just been incredible work. And about 96% in 2024, 96% of our recipients are people of color, 2% were people with disabilities, and about 40% are first generation bike owners, if you can believe that. So no one in their family had owned a bike before. So, and then we have a bike to work program, and we accept, so I'm here in my bike shop for people who are watching. I thought I'd change it up from my boring office. We offer a community bike disposal program too. So we make sure all those bikes aren't going into landfills and they're responsibly recycled.
What an amazing program. And also, we're going to have you on here today because we want to talk about the every bike's annual sale on May 10th. And then if you're still on next segment, I want to grill you about your TikTok too. Wow.
All right, I'm in. Yeah, we
Right
have
on.
on Saturday, May 10th, we've got our big annual sale. So it's called the Everything Bikes Annual Sale. And it really is probably the largest used bike sale in southern Wisconsin. And I always have to be careful saying that. It honestly is probably the largest used bike sale in the state of Wisconsin. It's just I don't know that for sure. But we've got right now behind me about 1,500 bikes. So we'll be selling at that sale, but it's everything related to bikes. Right now my laptop is set up on some bike bags because I had to get the right angle. So we got lots of bags. I'm standing here amidst a bunch of fenders. So we've got fenders. We've got all kinds of racks. These are kind of cool racks. So you could just put this right on your seat stem and, you can take it off easily. So you can strap your backpack to that. We've got fleets of folding bikes. We've got parts, shoes, clothes, accessible bikes, car racks, hitch racks, you name it. And you can find it here. Bike trailers, tag along trainers, it goes on. So yeah, so
So
that's Saturday, May 10th.
so do you have any like helmets too with like Green Bay Packer insignias
Ooh,
on?
I don't have any Packer. I really need to get
Good.
that, don't I? Or some
No,
stickers.
no, no.
Some
Vikings
stickers.
helmet, purple. Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
I am wearing a purple shirt, Robert.
That's
So.
right. Right on, right on. Well, you don't know how important a fender is until you ride your bike and when it's raining.
Oh yeah, and you got that stripe up the back. Oh, that's always popular, especially if you're in high school or middle school. Kids will love that.
Well, well, let's talk more about this. This is just an amazing. I mean, look at all those bikes, Haley. This is just
Yeah, it's something,
amazing
isn't it?
how this has grown over the years and how you help the community and how, when we hear people don't have a unicycle.
Unicycle. Yeah, we got it all. I tell you.
People don't have accessibility to this. It's a big, big deal.
It absolutely is. And I'll tell you, on a weekly basis, we have people come into our shop where, someone smashed their car in the night. It was parked on the street, right? They smashed their car. They come out for work. Now their car is disabled. They can't get to work and they don't have the luxury of having a job where they get time off. They might be a waitress, or some kind of essential worker. And so, they have to get there. They can't call in sick. And so we'll often have them coming in and they're just in crisis and you can feel the stress and they need a bike badly. And in Madison, and I know in the Twin Cities as well, we have cities that have prioritized our bike infrastructure, making it pretty reasonable for people to, ride a bike. And the riding season is getting longer. We have 70 degrees in November, and we also have 70-degree days in February. So winter is getting shorter. Oh boy, I just bumped some fenders there. Winter's getting shorter. This is one of our jokes is that one of our staff people is going to come in and find just a pair of legs sticking out from a mountain of bicycles, kind of like Wizard of Oz style in the House of Bikes. But yeah, so it's really essential. It's low cost. It's so good for us in so many ways. And I'd love to segue a little to talking about how important it is for everyone to teach your kids or your grandkids, whoever it be, teach them how to ride a bike. We're getting so many requests for that right now. And the success rate, unfortunately, when we're older is much, much lower.
One of the things, and maybe it's too controversial to say, but I've heard that it's almost better to have the young ones without training wheels where they have the bike with where they just walk as opposed to the training wheels. Have we talked about that, Kristie?
We might have touched on that. And I got all that stuff ready because I wanted to make an X with these training wheels, just to say no to training wheels. Okay. And what you're talking about right there, Robert, is this kind of a bike right here. So see that how it has no pedals, a strider bike, a balance bike. These are so fun to watch the little kids get going on because after a little while, they are just flying on these. And I've seen people where they don't even realize they don't have pedals. They think that they're zooming because they have pedals, but they're just zooming because they're going so, so fast. And when it comes just on Saturday, actually, we had a mom with 5 kids come in for their bikes. And there were 4 kids that knew how to ride and a little 4-year-old who didn't. And so I was telling the mom, telling her some tips on learning to ride. And I said, you know what? Why don't we just go outside and do it right now? And so Amaya was her name. And I was like, are you ready to do this? And she's like, yes, I can do it. And so we all get out there. Her siblings are all cheering her on, supporting her. And, and so I'm just teaching her some of the basic things. And like, you really got to mitigate the fear. And so often when she's starting on 2 wheels with pedals, but she'd had a balance bike. And so that made all the difference because she had the mechanics of steering. She couldn't figure out how to use the brakes, the coaster brakes. That was the hardest part. But really, it's just having her put her feet on the pedals, and I hold the bike, and then I let go, and I yell, feet down. And we do that 10 times. So it's a mantra in her head. So when she knows that bike is still, she's got to get her feet down to the ground. And we put the seat a little lower than it should be. So her legs are a little bit bent and she feels very comfortable. And so that's starting it. And so within 15 minutes, she was riding. Her siblings were all cheering her on. And I heard her way down the street go, feet down. I was like, yes, Amaya, that's it, feet down.
Wow,
Yeah,
look
someone's
at Matt.
commenting here. Matt, my oldest, was able to ride a pedal bike at 2. Yes, both of my kids learned at age 3. And
Wow.
balance is a spectrum. Every kid's got slightly different motor development skills. But yeah, I like a tricycle at age 1 to 2. The tricycle teaches the pedaling motion, the braking, the steering, and then you can go to that strider bike and then put them on 2 wheels.
That's amazing. I have a quick question too that I've loaned out my bike, but one of the things I'm going to get it back. One of the things is, can you talk about a lock? What kind of lock do
Oh,
you
yeah.
we prefer,
Ooh.
and how we lock these up?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important to invest in a good lock if you care about your bike and you want, we say that to people, if you're going to be really disappointed if that bike is gone, invest in a good lock. So some of the locks are actual chain link locks and they're covered with a fabric sleeve. And that can be a combo lock or a keyed lock. Those are great. They run probably about $40. Some of the locks we sell here, actually, they're a U-lock and they come with an insurance policy. So if your bike gets stolen, you get up to $1,500 if someone were to break that lock. So you just really got to be careful about the skinny, thin cable locks. There's a $12 pocket tool. We have plenty of them here for cutting cables, and it's very easy to do.
Yeah, Matt is on a roll here. We really appreciate Matt. He said, "Do you take donations?" And I guess that's also bike donations and money donations. How can people all
Absolutely.
over the civic media in the Twin Cities here support you?
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, we take both of those. Financial donations, we need money to buy the parts and to have the staff to do the work and to pay for this ginormous warehouse that we're in. And bike donations. So really every bike that rolls through the door is of value in some way. Even if we can't save that bicycle, you can bet we're going to take the pedals off. We're going to take maybe the grips off, the handlebars, the fork. We're going to take whatever we can off. We're in this 12,000 square foot warehouse and we don't have a dumpster here because we reuse so many of the parts. So we've got an amazing circular economy going on. But people can take bike donations. We have a site in Neenah, Wisconsin. So that's in the Fox Valley. So if you go to our website, bikesforkidswi.org, and hit the contact page, you'll see that address. And then we take them here in Madison, Wisconsin, year round, all the time. Same with Neenah. And then we've got some people who do host pop-up bike donation drives for us. And we'll have one in Milwaukee this fall as well.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. Hey, we have Kristie GoForth, Executive Director of Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening and how you guys out there listening can help. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back.
Everyone wants to maximize their dollar. If you're looking for a new vehicle, the only place to go is Rudy Luther Toyota. Consumer Reports Best of 2025 edition has the most reliable vehicles as Toyotas. The Toyota Corolla, RAV4, and RAV4 Prime top the list of the most reliable cars. And Toyotas are fuel efficient, meaning less money at the pumps. Consumer Reports Best of Gas Mileage ranking has the Prius Camry, Corolla Cross Hybrid, RAV4 Hybrid, and the Highlander Hybrid top of their classes. Reliability and fuel efficiency, you'll find them both at Rudy Luther Toyota, 5 miles west of Minneapolis on 394.
Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NEI.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is often laced into illicit drugs and used to make fake versions of prescription pills. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. Suppliers mix fentanyl into their products because it's potent and cheap, and the dealer might not even know. Keep yourself and others safe by knowing the real deal on fentanyl. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NEI.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts.
No! Haley, did you hear I said no in my house?
I like that.
Yes.
Well, Kristie, we're going to make you do it next time you're on the show. If you
I did it. I was muted, but I did it.
I think I muted her. That was my bad.
I always haul with you. I love that.
Right on. Hey, we're here with Kristie GoForth, Executive Director, Bikes for Kids, Wisconsin, and we're talking about your annual sale, but we're also talking about a lot of good information, especially here that everything's turning green and people are flying around on their bikes now more often.
Oh, I know. It's bike city out here. I did grab, or I had my staff person, Ben, grab one of those locks with the insurance policies. So these are the On Guard. We love these. They're heavy duty, and the fact that it comes with an insurance policy is a nice bonus, especially when you don't have to keep paying into the insurance. You just pay it one time. It's $40 we sell those for.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I have, obviously I'm 64 or almost 64 and I haven't biked in a while, but that's crazy. I remember the big deal is when we had bike licenses for our bike. We had to get the serial number on the bike and have licenses. That was kind of cool too.
Yeah. Most cities have dissolved that program. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Part of it was, we started hearing a lot about the people who were being stopped were brown and black people, because they were being stopped and checked to see if they were registered. Well, our white counterparts were not being stopped and asked. And so there were some issues there. There's also just equity issues. If you don't have the money to buy a car and you're using a bike as your sole transportation, and you have financial challenges, like having them buy a license plate as well, or a registration is also seems like we should be encouraging more people to bike, right? It alleviates parking challenges, it alleviates congestion, it makes for cleaner water, cleaner air, and healthier bodies, healthier minds. So most cities have dissolved that. When I was on my city council, I actually led that, and I got it dissolved in my city.
Do you know anything about the Twin Cities? Because I know we have a bike path that goes right past my house.
Ooh.
And you can bike all the way from Minneapolis to Stillwater.
Incredible.
on
I
one
love
path.
it. I don't
Is that
know a
Haley,
lot,
have you
but
ever
I've
Haley, have you
seen
ever done that?
photos. Yeah, okay. Well, how about
Right.
this? Because it's on my list to come on up there and visit y'all and ride those paths. And so when I do, how about Robert? You come out and join me, and we'll figure out the system. We'll tour.
I got to get my bike back. It sounds good.
Yeah,
Now I know which lock to have too, because really that kind of concerned me too, because it's like, oh, I'd like to
absolutely.
go for exercise, and get out and go to the store and also have a secure lock.
Absolutely. So, Robert, do you remember maybe, I don't think it was the last time I was on here, but maybe the time before, you told me you mentioned a specific bike and it was something, a memory from your childhood.
Yeah.
And I said we had one here. You want to see
Yeah,
it?
like a Rawling, an English bike, and it was black and white fenders.
Ooh, that wasn't the one I remember you talking about. I remember you talking about this one,
Oh,
the
yes,
Stingray.
the
The
Stingray.
Stingray.
Yes,
You
that's
see
from my
that?
era. Jeez,
It's
yeah,
so
that's
cool.
the
Nice black
chopper.
banana seat. So I could see you on that.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
It's so
definitely.
cute.
Yeah.
I had one and it was really cool. My dad, he, bought I think the handlebars and the seat and switched it over to a Stingray where we couldn't
Oh,
afford
nice.
the Schwinn, Stingray that was out there that all
Yeah.
the
You had to
rich
make a
people
knockoff version. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
No, but
afford
that
the
was
handlebars and maybe the saddle.
right, right.
Yep,
Yeah,
I get that.
that's cool. Is that an
Yeah.
older one or is that a newer model?
Let's see. This actually is an older one. We have some reproductions here, but this is an original older one. It is
Haley, my
so cool
birthday's
though.
coming up. My birthday's
You
coming
like
up.
antiques too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, before we let you go, Kristie, let's talk about the sale one more time and,
Yeah, great.
how people can get in touch with you.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah. So on May 10th, it's a Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. If you're in the Dane County or Madison, Wisconsin area, come on by to Bikes for Kids Wisconsin. It's the Everything Bikes annual sale, and we'll have almost 1,000 bikes for sale, every size and style. You can see a lot of road bikes hanging on the walls here. Oh, we've got some incredible bikes, and some of those road bikes actually are like $7,000 bikes. Uh,
Uh,
it's amazing what we get in here. A lot of people are, Ironman folks, and so they want to trade in their bike and upgrade, so they'll bring them over to us. And selling a bike like that allows us to give so many bikes away to other people. So that's huge.
yeah.
So, and we'll have something for everyone. So if you need something bike related, the cool thing is when you shop here, you're supporting someone who would never otherwise have an opportunity to own a bike, and that just feels good. You get a nice prize for yourself, and you get to support someone else. So it feels really great. You can find out more at bikesforkidswi.org.
Just before I let you go, I know I see your TikToks and I see especially about the bikes. We won't get into the
Yeah.
political stuff today. We will on another show when you come in as a
That sounds
citizen.
good.
But how many volunteers do you have? Because it looks like a lot.
Yeah, we have so many volunteers. So regular volunteers. So right now I'm at the shop and we have a Tuesday night shop night. Our host is Ryan Hulisman, and tonight's his last night. He led those Tuesday nights all winter long. Um, Regular volunteers is about 100. And then we have these corporate teams that come in all the time. So, very easily we're at about 130 pretty engaged volunteers. And this week, your former guest, I think her name was Ruth Anna. I saw
Yeah.
she was her tribe. We had a guy from that tribe. His name is Levi, and he grew up in North Dakota. And he was here this week. He goes to school at UW. He's in med school here, and he just was telling me about that tribe because I didn't know about that tribe, and he told me how they consolidated a few tribes together. So yeah, it's an active group of people we have here, and another very cool thing is there's a very large number of retirees that spend their days here drinking coffee and eating our donuts and working on bikes. And it's, I think when I don't know that I'll ever retire, I might not be that kind of person, but I think about when you do retire, that you might feel isolated and you're separated from a community. We really try not to underemphasize the importance of that community building aspect for our retirees. They're lined up at the door at 10 a.m. when we open up. So it's pretty awesome.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I am just totally amazed every time we talk. You are building community, you're helping community and within community. And what more can we ask from our relatives?
Oh, exactly. And the other thing is we have this multi-generational space. I think a lot of times we struggle to find those spaces, that are cross-cultural and multi-generational. And boy, we've had people this week from Cameroon, someone from Sierra Leone, someone from Venezuela, all ages, so it's really pretty cool.
Wow. Well, Kristie GoForth, big bike sale in Madison on May 10th. Peony Gigi, thank you so much for coming on. And I'll be in Madison in June, but we also have our 5K here next Friday here, big 5K here around Lake Phalen. Just throwing that out there too. It's a run and a walk, but
Fun.
people riding bikes too, I bet.
Yeah. How's the weather looking for that?
Oh, I don't know. It's
Okay.
Minnesota. It changes every hour.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Well,
Hold on.
best wishes with that. And Team McWetch, folks, love being here with you. And thank you so much for the
Yeah.
invitations.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We'll be talking to you very soon. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Hey, wow. That was awesome. Kristie GoForth, Executive Director of Bikes for Kids, Wisconsin. This is Native Roots Radio. And if you're listening to us, you are part of the resistance. From Chief Plenty Coops, the ground on which we stand on is sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors.
The city of Minneapolis